What's good, people? Thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. First things first, shout out to Shevon Bodie, I think that's his name on my YouTube channel, Shevon Bodie, who correctly said that this fight would do around the 350, 400,000 pay-per-view buy number. I said it would do less than that. I said around half that number. He is correct. We had a little side bet where the winner would put I think $15 or $20 on a food voucher. I lost. So Shevon, email me so I can get that sorted. But yeah, we are hearing that the number for Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, or Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, is trending towards that 400,000 pay-per-view buy number, which is massive. It's massive. That's a massive number. The whole event was massive. I wasn't too impressed with the undercard. That's boxing sometimes. You can't always get great fights in the undercard. But I think the whole event, I mean, there was 47,000 people in attendance. I mean, I know a lot of Brits have come out and said things like, well, it didn't beat AJ and AJ does 80 and 90. Yeah, okay, we get that. But nonetheless, 47,000 people attended, which many people thought going in was a one-sided event, really and truly. I'm guessing out of those 47,000, 70 to 80% of those would have been Mexican. But regardless, 47,000 people attended, and it done 400,000, or trending towards 400,000 pay-per-view buys, which is just an incredible number. Again, let's remember, Mikey Garcia has never fought on pay-per-view before. Errol Spence has fought on pay-per-view, but that was over here against Kell Brook. So we're talking two pay-per-view virgins doing that kind of number. Richard Schaefer did say something along the lines of this fight could do 1 million, so he was way off. I mean, this fight was never, ever going to do 1 million. But to put into perspective how big a number this is, 400,000, remember it was $74.95 or something ridiculous. I think it was it $74 or $79.95? So it's a huge amount of money. Times that by 400,000 and you're getting nearly $32 million in revenue. $32 million in revenue. That's the same as an Anthony Joshua pay-per-view over here. That's the same. That's how big it is. Remember, Anthony Joshua's pay-per-view over here is what? $24.95. So Anthony Joshua kind of averagely, I know Klitschko was like 1.6 million pay-per-view buys, but I think his average number is about 950 AJ. So if you times AJ's 950 by 24.95, it's around the same number. That's how big a number 400,000 pay-per-view buys is in America. I think we Brits sometimes forget the cost of a pay-per-view in America as opposed to the cost of a pay-per-view over here. So that's a very, very good number. And now it's just a case of building on it, right? Building on that number. Pay-per-view isn't dead. That's the thing we've been hearing recently. Oscar De La Hoya and DAZN have been telling you pay-per-view is dead. Well, this number suggests it isn't. Again, $32 million in revenue is a great number for two guys that have never, ever fought on pay-per-view in America. They might have been on the undercard of pay-per-views, I'm not sure, but in terms of headlining, no chance, right? And I guess if Errol fights Manny Pacquiao next, that's the fight they want. I mean, he could be touching that 600,000 number, right? He could touch that 600,000 number, and then we have another pay-per-view star in America. Fact, we have another pay-per-view star in America. So pay-per-view certainly isn't dead. I am surprised by that number, I am, especially when you consider the price of the pay-per-view. Again, 74 or 79.95, a huge amount. That's what, 55 quid. 55 quid. And they still generated that many buys. So that's impressive. What do you guys think of that number? And what do you guys potentially think of Errol Spence turning into a pay-per-view star? Although I don't think he can be a standalone pay-per-view star. And what I mean by that is I don't think he can fight anyone and do good numbers. He does have, in and around him, both at 147 and potentially 154, a lot of dance partners in order to get good numbers, right? He's got so many good dance partners, whether it be Pacquiao next, whether it be Furman next, whether it be Porter next, whether it be trying to get Crawford over from Top Rank next, whether it be moving up to 154 and fighting some of those guys. There are a lot of dance partners for him. So I think this is onwards and upwards for Errol Spence. I really do. I think people like him. I think people like his style. He speaks his mind. Remember that thing he said about Oscar De La Hoya not supporting black fighters? He says what he wants to say. People seem to like that stuff. So, again, good numbers. Very, very good numbers for an American pay-per-view in a market where people are saying pay-per-view is dead. Peace.